Alright, guys. We're gonna do a fun one because this is exactly how I lived literally the majority of the first part of my life. I was all this stuff and I absolutely hated it. And now I can see how very stupid it was and is. So, if you are doing and being this, stop it. If you don't know how, listen and I'll get you some ideas going. So number 5, guys, stop being scared of the world and fearful of females. Whew. Yeah. So we all grow up and being like scared that girls have like cooties, or that since they're not dudes that there's some kind of monster or something. Something goes on in our head and we tell ourselves that we can't talk to them, and that where you get all jittery and freaked out and we're like, oh my god, if I talk to this girl, does that mean we're going to get married? It's like, no, that's not how things work, guys. You can talk to someone of the opposite sex and it be literally just a conversation. There are such things as that, whether they're attractive or not, or you're attracted to them or not, there's such thing as just talking to people. So for those who are scared little boys, those beta bitch boys, those nice guys, because no one wants a nice guy. You want to be a great man, not a nice guy, because a nice guy is a soy boy, he's a little bitch boy, and he's a simp. That's what a nice guy is. You want to be a great man, because no one's going to want a nice guy. No one wants the weak side. Girls are not going to kill you guys. They are just another human being. Talk to them. If you're attracted to them, if you want to know who they are, stop staring at them in the distance and stop being weird and creepy about it. You're a guy. Have confidence and go and talk to them. If you don't have the confidence to do that, you need to work on that, because one of the most attractive traits that a man can have is self-confidence, and women can smell that shit on a guy from miles away. Everything you do, how you talk, how you walk, how you stand, how you act, what you say, the way you say it, the tone in which you say it, everything about you will tell other people your type of confidence. And you being jittery and be like, hi, like this kind of stuff that you watch on TV and see this High School Musical bullshit. That's not the real world, guys. That's Hollywood. That's all fake. Grow up. Stop being scared. Get your shit together. Be a man. Go and talk to them. Or at least wait until you have your shit together. And then you can go and talk to them, because then you'll build that confidence. Women love confidence in a man. All right. 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily training is just slightly beneficial, but godliness is beneficial for all things, since it holds promise for the present life and also for the future, for the life to come. Excuse me. So absolutely, yeah, I believe in taking care of the soul. Absolutely, just as much, even maybe a little bit more than taking care of your body and mind. But again, if you take care of only your soul and you do not know how to take care of your body and your mind, then the enemy will get you where you are weak, which is your body and your mind. He'll get those temptations on you. He will control you. He'll manipulate you. He'll do all that stuff that he needs to do, and he's very good at doing, because you've not trained your body and your mind on how to do things and be strong and be steadfast and to be able to hold yourself accountable. So yes, take care of your body, mind, and your soul. There's nothing that says you can only do soul or body and mind. You can do both. You can do it all. All right? Michael John Bobak. I forgot who he was, but it's a great quote. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. Nothing new there, guys. You're not going to get stronger if you only do a couple of reps in the gym. You're going to do it until until your biceps start to burn. You're going to do it until you're physically exhausted, until you've mentally pushed yourself past the breaking point. So it's nothing new. You have to grow outside your safe space, outside your comfort zone, your whatever is that's your normal. You have to push past that. You're going for a run, you're only going to get faster when you push yourself and you're breathing really hard and you're about to pass out and you're just running so fast that you don't know if you're going to trip or keep running. Push yourself. Go outside your comfort zone. You go and talk to some girl, but you're normally scared to, so go talk to her. You're scared to just make friends, even with dudes? Go talk to dudes. Go get comfortable with being able to talk to people. It's a long process, guys. I get it. I know. I was literally the biggest little bitch, boy, simp, everything. I was all the crap. I was all this weak stuff when I was a kid, even when I was a teen. Actually, it was so sad looking back on it now. I'm like, how in the world was I like that? Again, no one told me anything. But Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Like, he's like, I didn't tell you guys to be scared. He's like, I am with you. I'm the Almighty God. Why are you going to act scared at anything in this world? Everything should be scared of God, since God's the creator. So why would anything, scare you if you have God with you? That's why I'm like, I got to that point. I was like, whenever I made that connection, I really understood. I was like, this makes so much more sense. This is so much easier and so much better. It's a hard one though. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard to get to that point. But you have to really want to get to that point. You have to really push yourself to be like, all right, I'm going to just whatever you say, God, whatever it is. Give you everything? Okay. Let me figure that out. Let me do whatever that is for you and my relationship. Whatever it is. It's a great point to get to, guys. Whenever you're like, nothing scares me. Not a thing, not a person, not the devil, not the government, not a girl, not anything in this world scares me. Because I'm more scared of God. But it's not scared. It's the healthy fear of respect and love for him. Psalm 34:4. I sought the Lord, and he answered me, and rescued me from all of my fears. Well, I mean, that kind of goes pretty well, right? So, if you call on the Lord, you're like, Father, help me, show me, teach me, train me, whatever it is that you need to do with me, do it. Help me. Like, I'm lost. I'm confused. This is what I did. I was lost for so long, and I was like on my knees crying in the middle of the night. Many times this happened, of course. And I was like, God, do what you need to do to me. Get my attention. Show me what you need to show me. Help me out with something. Like, I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Help me. Show me something. And he did. And it wasn't overnight. It wasn't from weeks. It wasn't from months and months. Some things were just like many months out. Some stuff has been years out that I asked for something, and then he's like now answering some of those prayers. Some he has, some he hasn't. But I'm like, okay, I know if I have you, if I'm doing what you say, if I'm doing things right in your name, and I ask you for something, if it's good, you're going to give me that or something better. But on his time. Psalm 107:28. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distresses. Call on the Father, guys. Ask him for help. He's going to help you, not whenever you need it, but whenever he's like, this is when it needs to happen. All right? He's going to help you, but he's going to do it on his time. And you have to do it and be, genuine. You have to be real in your soul with him about it. You can't just say like, uh-oh, I messed up again. Like, hey, Dad, come bail me out of jail again. I was driving drunk again. Like, again? Okay, rot in jail for a bit. See if you learn your lesson. Like, no, it's like, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be better. And he's like, okay, I know I can work with my kids. I can work with those who are trying to be better. Not those who just say, oh, bail me out of jail because I screwed up. Because I did what I wanted. Right? Eleanor Roosevelt. Very wise woman. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So, what you say to yourself matters most. Alright? There's the whole sticks and stones thing. Yes, absolutely. People can say like, oh, sticks and stones hurt my bones, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Alright? I don't believe in that. Now, words have, you can speak words of life and words of death. Absolutely. But still, how you perceive those and how you take those words is completely on you. Someone can come and say some stuff to me, and they can be very nice and uplifting and speak words of life to me and uplift me. Or they can say, evil, bad things. It can be a random person. It could be a good friend. Who knows? I don't know. But whoever it is, they can be speaking death upon me to my face, assuming they actually would. And they could be doing that, and I'm still going to look at them and be like, okay. Like, I value my opinion 100% more than I do anyone else's. Now, there's a difference between constructive criticism and someone hating on you, right? I'm doing a job that I've never done before. Someone's like, hey, no, that's not how you do it. You do it like this. Let me help you. Constructive criticism. You're doing something to the best of your ability, and someone comes along and is just trying to shit on you, and they're just trying to hate on you for whatever reason. Then you're like, okay, I don't care what you say. Like, when I was a kid, everyone told me all the great things that I was a kid. Everyone was like, oh, you got a servant's heart. You're such a sweet kid. Oh, you're such a handsome young man. They told me all the good things that anyone would ever love to hear. I never believed it because I told myself, no, you're not actually a nice person. No, you don't know what I've done. No, I'm actually not a good looking dude. No, I'm actually not sweet. No, no, no. So I told myself all the opposite of what everyone else, dozens and dozens of people in my life as a little kid and a teenager, friends, family, random people I just met, they would all say all great things about me, but I told myself the opposite. So I lived believing what I told myself, which was that I was bad and that I was worse than I was, and I believed it. And that was one of the lies that I carried with me forever. So what you tell yourself is what matters. So if you're speaking life into yourself and you're telling yourself, hey, I'm a good person, I'm working, I got God on my side, I have no fear, I know I'm going to be through storms, but I know he's going to be there with me in the storm, so bring the storm on. I'll go through it 100 times over. I'll stay in the eye of the storm all day long because I know I got God with me the entire time. What you tell yourself, guys, what you tell yourself matters more than what anyone else will say. And you have to understand that your own opinion is what really, really matters. Again, there's things that people can say that can do to be good and bad, and again, if they're helping you. But if people are just trying to speak evil and death upon you, then fuck them. All right? It doesn't matter what they say. Do what you believe is right. If you're in that area and you're like, all right, I'm trying to do and be something, right? You're like, all right, I'm gonna go chase God. I'm gonna go and have a better life and a better future for myself. And your old group of people, that all your friends that you had are all smoking weed and sleeping around and staying up all night doing drugs and shit, right? And they're telling you that you're stupid and wasting your life. Like, yeah, you really gonna listen to them? Like, it's stuff like that, right, guys? Funny one. I got Buddha on here. So Buddha is like what we think we become, right? I mean, it's obviously straightforward, exactly what we say. You are what you say. You are what you eat. You are what you drink. You are who you're around. You are what you listen to, what you watch, what you believe, what you say to yourself. You are these things. If I am out at a bar with a bunch of people who are getting drunk all the time, staying up late, not doing anything productive with their life, sleeping around, drinking drugs, whatever the case is, right? If I'm living that lifestyle, I'm going to become that type of person. And I did. For years, I was that. And then I was like, all right, there's got to be something better. I know there's something better. And then God comes along and he's like, yeah, there's a lot better. Everything else is better than that kind of lifestyle. You have to put yourself in the places of life that are good and positive, right? You have to be putting yourself in areas with good people, with God, with structure, stability. You got to be on a solid rock. You have to build your life on a solid foundation of a rock, because if you're playing in the sand and mud, you ain't gonna have a house for long, right? Psalm 112, 6-7. For he will never be shaken. The righteous will be remembered forever. He will not fear bad news. His heart is steadfast, trusting in the Lord. If you are able to get to that point that you're like, okay, God, I'm going to give you everything. And as the storm comes, as I'm trucking through the storm, as all these bad things happen in life, I'm okay because I know I have you with me. I know I have you by my side. I know you're with me in the storm, and from the beginning, the middle, and the end, and you're going to bring me out stronger and better after the storm is over. So whenever you can understand and be like, I don't mind a storm. Bring the thunder, man. Like, I am good. I know I got God. I know it's going to hurt, but it's not going to kill me. Even if it brings me close to death, it's not going to kill me. All right? Matthew 6:27. And which of you, by worrying, can add a single day to his lifespan? Tell this to my sister all the time. Freaking out, getting anxious over everything. You can't control anything. When you're anxious, when you're stressed, all you do is make yourself go through it twice. Now and in the moment whenever you do it. And then probably, more than likely, if you're already stressing about it at all, and you're doing it those 2 times, then you're going to stress and be anxious about it afterwards. And you're like, oh my God, did I do good on the test? Did I get that job? Was I good in the interview? What am I actually doing good when this stuff like, if you're working for something, right? If you're going to school, if you're, going if you're going for an interview for a job, if you're whatever you're doing and you are preparing and working for taking that test, having that interview, whatever the case is, if you're working for it and you're doing the best you can, then know that you're preparing and you're going into it and you're going to go do it as best you can, whether you got to study for it for 10 hours or 20 minutes. It doesn't matter, as long as you're able to do the best you can with the time you're allotted, and you're like, okay, I did what I could. Now that I'm done with the test, now that I've already had the interview, now that this event has happened, whatever it is, okay, it's over, it's done. You stressing about it, you worrying about it, you freaking out about it is going to do nothing for you at all except make you more stressed and anxious, and it's just going to bring you down even more, and then you're going to freak out about it. And if you did good, then you're like, oh my God, whew, I did awesome. Okay, awesome, now I'm good. Now let me go stress about the next test. Or if you do bad, then you're like, okay, shit. Let me prepare better. Let me do better next time. You can't, stress doesn't do anything positive for anyone. Period. It never has. Matthew 6:33-34. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be provided to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Man, that one's really good, because he's like, what do you do first? Seek the kingdom, seek righteousness, seek a relationship with the Father. Make that first. Put him first in your life. And focus on that. Make that your top priority. And that doesn't mean that's taking 24/7 of your time. That means you just do that in everything you do. You just put God first. You talk about God whenever you can. You pray about stuff. You're like, all right, God, if I'm supposed to be doing good on this test, please help me to pass the test and do good on it. If you want me to have this job, please let this interview go well. If this is the person you have set for me, please let the conversation go well. Please let things, please let our date go well, whatever the case is. Every day has got enough trouble and enough crap going on in it. You don't need to worry about every last thing, whether it's important or not. You don't need to stress about it. You don't need to say, oh my God, let me put everything on hold for this one little thing. If it's good and it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. You get to try again at some point. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and discipline. God's like, he's like, I didn't create you to be scared. I didn't create you to be timid. I didn't create you to be scared, running behind a rock in fear, of a shadow. He's like, I gave you these strong attributes. He's like, I gave you power, discipline, love. Like, if you can manifest and control those and use them in the proper, healthy, loving life, goodness, great way that he created us to, if you can be loving to yourself and to your neighbor, if you are disciplined so that you are so set that you don't let outside negative evil influences come into your life or back into your life, like pretty much everyone has already had something they've gone through, so you don't allow those weaknesses and those those like demons and those vices come back in your life. You have the discipline so you never fall for that again. You have the love so you can spread more love. and you have the power to do those things, right? Just like focus on the good, guys, work on it. If you don't know, you need to ask and find out how to do and be good, or whatever it is that you're confused on, go ask someone. You are going to know someone or come across someone in some way. You don't, go find yourself a random church and start talking to people. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So yeah, he who finds a wife. Not girl, not girlfriend, not chick that he thought was hot, not girl that was great cuddling, not girl that he wanted to get to know, not any of this crap that we have put over what really is meant to be. God says wife, as in she is acting like a wife, as in she's carrying herself like a wife, as in she is carrying herself and acting and being a godly woman for God and for herself and then for you. And just like you need to be acting like a godly man and a husband for God, for you, and then for her. All right, you have to have God first. You got to take care of yourself second, and then you take care of the spouse third. If you mess up that order at all, it's going to go downhill. You can't take care of someone else more than you take care of yourself, because then you're not going to be able to be the best version of you if you are not putting effort into yourself. And obviously, if you do not have God first in a relationship on both sides, that will not end well, because half the marriages in the world, or at least in the country, end in divorce. And a large fraction of them is because they don't have God in the house. Guys, I used to believe in all this shit. I can't believe I fell for all this stuff when I was a kid growing up. Go date, but also don't be weird about it. But you're too scared to go talk to girls, and you have nothing to offer because you're supposed to be doing things as a man, which is to have you should have a home, as in you are a solid home. You have a home, a solid foundation with God. You have built yourself into being an actual man. You have a physical home ready for a wife. You have stability to bring someone in. You don't just jump the steps and go get with someone because you're like, well, I want, that peace and love. And here's the thing. Yeah, guys, everyone in general, but guys, yes, me included, I wanted the family. I was like, you know what? I just want that love. I want that attention. I want that physical touch. I want that peace from a woman. I want all these things, and put it on a woman who is not meant to be doing that for us in the way that we're putting it on them. We are meant to get our peace and our strength and know who we are as men. We're getting that from God and from what we put into ourselves. So whenever you are going and you are having your life, right, and you end up getting with a girl, and then someone's like, oh man, look at that, you're so happy. And it's like, okay. And then what happens when you break up? Because most people do not marry their first girlfriend, right? So whenever you break up, then you get all depressed and sad and stuff, right? You should not be putting your self-worth and your everything into someone else. You should be getting it one from the Father, and then you should be knowing that you are the one who's been working for everything. You've been doing everything in your life to build yourself into being this type of man, so that if a girlfriend, if whatever happens, and you don't have that woman anymore, whether you're married and she dies, or you're with a girl and you've been dating for a while but she leaves you, or whatever the case is, you don't just completely crumble to the ground and you're like, oh, I'm nothing anymore. I don't have a woman that's gonna rub my back when I go to bed. I don't have someone at home to cook me a nice, good, hot meal. I don't have her coming home and saying like, oh, hey, baby, I'm glad you're home. I love you. And then your whole world comes crumbling because you don't have that anymore. You should not be getting your self-worth and what makes you you from a woman. She's meant to add to that and make it so awesome. She's supposed to complete you, but there is still a lot of you before just her. And again, you have to be getting your peace from God first. Because if you look for peace from a woman, I chased that for a really long time. And no woman has ever given me the kind of peace that God has, guys. I swear no one ever has. And they can absolutely do great things, and they can absolutely be a great part of your life. You know, a family, a wife, kids, the whole thing. That's great. But don't put that on them initially. Don't say, all right, I'm going to be happy whenever I have a woman that wants to marry me. I'm going to be happy whenever I get that job promotion. I'm going to be satisfied whenever this happens, X, Y, or Z. You need to be good with God, and you need to be like, okay, I'm going to work for these things. If it doesn't work out, guess what? I get to keep working to get even better and better. If it does work out, it's like, awesome. A new step has been made, another chapter in life, awesome. But you keep working for something else. You don't deserve to chase a girl or have a girl until you have yourself figured out and taken care of, guys. And whenever you do have yourself taken care of and figured out, which should not be until your early to mid-20s, I would say. So anytime before that, you should not even be thinking of, oh, girlfriend, oh, future wife, oh, let me talk to her. Nope, you got too much work to do. So even whenever you do talk to girls, stop being scared, guys. You can talk to a person just as a person. You can stop acting and being scared and be like, oh my God, if I talk to her, does that mean that we're going to get married? Does that mean that she likes me? Does that mean I like her? You gotta get over that stuff, guys. And again, I did all that stuff too growing up. When I was a kid and I was dumb and I believed in all that. You gotta grow up at some point. You gotta get yourself together. Hope this helped, guys. See you next time.